Start it in just a minute now. Let me just double check that everything's looking. Oh, well, that's not what I meant to do there. Just want to make sure we're all set here. Looks like we are. Okay, looking good. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and get started with our session for today, which is the Futures Now session. We'll just skip the timer right now. There's this disclaimer here there for your information, your use, your protection. Please make sure to understand it, make sure to read it, so we can get started with today's session, which is Futures Now. We'll be trading futures short term, and we'll be getting going very quickly. Alrighty. So this is the agenda for today. We're going to look at what the current market environment is. We're going to execute based on those new opportunities that present themselves for us, and then go ahead and do intraday trade management. Again, if you have any questions or anything that you want me to cover while we have this session going, my email is right there, and as well as the support at TRADDICTIV is also there. Let's go ahead and get started. And let's get TradeStation up. There we go. All right. So what are we looking at on these? You know what? I just realized, just to make it a little less confusing, I'm just going to minimize these for now. Obviously, because we're not looking at them since we're focusing on futures. I'm just going to have this open. So what we're looking at is the following, right? In this radar screen that we have on TradeStation, we are looking for a couple of things. First off, we need a confirmed climate in any of these instruments that we got here, right? We need a colored column, meaning red or blue, not a gray one, because that means it's unconfirmed. And then of course the condition preferably would be near sensible short, near sensible long, you know, keyword being near, meaning it's flashing in this gold color. If it is sensible short or sensible long and it is confirmed, you know, we can still look at it, but we would prefer and give priority to the ones that are flashing. All right, so as of right now, let's go ahead and open up gold and the euro contract and see what we got going on. So we got gold and euro. There we are. Let's go ahead and get these open. I just want to double check. Is everything looking good? I think we should be okay. Just want to verify here. Yep. All right. Looking good across the board. Good stuff. Alrighty. Let's see. What are we going to get for today? Just wait for this to load real quick. There we are. All right, so we got gold, December contract, and the euro 2 minute. It's December as well. Okay, let's go ahead and kind of get this set up a little bit better so we can see what we got working with us here. Okay, so there we are. First confirmed climate up, right? Out of typically 6. So we got 6 15-minute increments to make this trade work. Should it, you know, become a valid setup. Now, of course, looking at the current setup, let's go ahead and review how we actually determine if this is a valid setup or not. So we're looking at a couple of things, right? We already confirmed that the market climate is up and we should be looking for long opportunities. The next thing that we have here is this moving average, the exponential moving average, the 9 EMA. That's giving us a value of 1.16289, right? So let's just call it 1.16 1629, right? Just to keep it simple. So 1629 is about here, right? And it's also about here, and it's also about here. All right, so 1629. Let's just, you know what? Let's just get an exact, because I think, yeah, it's a little closer. Right, it's right there. So 1629 is right there on these charts. It's in between here and everything like that. So it's looking good. Now, one thing that I do want to point out is, you know, we are looking at them on these 3 time frames up here, because these 3 time frames up here are our edge time frames. That's where we have an edge trading these instruments. We're looking for an auto UFO in any one of these edge time frames to match with that 9 exponential moving average. All right, so as we said, this, let's round it down, you know, round it up to 1629. We're looking for a UFO to be enveloping this number. So plus up or plus down of that UFO is okay. We just need to make sure. And do we have it? Well, absolutely, it's right here. So we can go in on a trade at 16295. So 16295. All right, that's the entry. Now, where do we put our stop? Well, very similarly to, you know, putting our entry, we're going to put it right below this UFO here, which also clears this UFO here. All right, so what we have right now is the following, right? We have a 16295 minus 16225. All right, so that means we got to go to plus 16295 to make sure that our 365 is our T1. So 365, which looks like it's the high at the moment. Now, where do we know? So what we just did is we set up our entry, our stop, and our first T1, which is 1 to 1. Okay, so our stop is down here. Our target 1 is right here. Where do we put our final target? The way we determine that is we maximize this chart, the 50-minute chart, and look for an opposing UFO. And what does an opposing UFO mean? Well, since we're going long, an opposing UFO would be a red UFO. The first opposing UFO is the one over here with an end price of 166.625 and a beginning price of 165.60. So since we're going long, right, we need to give it the earliest time out of there, which would be 165.60. So 165.60 would be our, and looks like we got filled. So 165.60, which is quite far up there. So I'm just going to enable some chart trading here. So I can just go ahead and edit that easily. So 165.60. Replace that order. Yes. Boom. So our trade is set. Everything's done. We have our T1. We have our stop. Right? So we're risking $175. Okay. To make pretty much what we have here, which is 331.25 plus 87. So I would say that's about close to 3 point something. Let's get it exact. What the heck did I just? Sorry about that. I was trying to open the calculator. I don't know what it opened. So we have 331.25 minus, I'm sorry, plus 87.50. Right, so 418. Yeah, it's about. So it's about, I would say 2.7 or something like that to 1. Okay, and that we're already in the trade. Right now it's just kind of sitting there, not doing much, which is okay. You know, it's much better than just having it reverse on us. But it's looking okay. Let's see if we can catch this move to the upside. All right, now next one we need to look at that we had basically a climate 2 review was gold. Back at that 1800 round number on gold, confirmed down climate. Let's see how we're looking. We're actually touching right up against it. 18016, which is right here. So this small UFO could actually work here. 18015 to go in short. Let me just see how this will look. 18015. Yep, and that's basically it. 10 ticks till we get to the next UFO. So yeah, this would be also a valid setup as well. Moving average is at 18016. We're in a third down climate out of typically 7. We call it 7 because we got 6.04 here. So even though it's such a small decimal point above the 6, our rules say we always round up no matter what, because we want to give the climate as much time to work as it can. All right, so let's see if we can get on board with this move. Now, before we do that, let's also see where our opposing UFO is, right? So we're going short on gold, and our first opposing UFO is at 1794.8, as we see here, 1794.8. That one is not too far out, so I'll just drag it. 1794.8 right there. All right, now I just want to get some sort of confirmation. Are you guys with me? Is what I'm saying here kind of easy to follow, hard to follow, in between? Just let me know what you think. If you've already traded this type of methodology, then this is nothing new. It's just rinse and repeat, and quite frankly, there's really nothing wrong with that. As long as it works, right? Why break something that's... Why try to fix something that's not broken, is what I'm trying to say. Alright, now the reason why I'm looking at the climates right now is because I believe right here we have NQ. See, it's near hopeful short, but in a negative ATR and in an unconfirmed climate. I would like to see it in the next 2 minutes get confirmed so I can jump on it. So let's see what's going to happen. Same thing with the ES and the Dow. As you see, they were actually in conflict with each other. The Nasdaq was a near hopeful short, whereas the ES and the YM were actually sensible long. So it's interesting to see what's going to happen when it comes in about a minute from now, from basically 9:15. So let's see. It's going to be interesting to see that. All right, the euro not moving a whole bunch. That's okay. Gold might be giving us another opportunity here to get filled. The UFO is still intact. The stop is still looking okay. Nothing out of the ordinary there. It's a 10-tick stop, so $200 risk. $100 on the way down. And then we're looking at 1794.8 minus 18.015. So 670 on the way down. So not a bad trade at all. Let's see if it can get us, and then kind of shoot down, perhaps with the market open. Euro looks like it turned around a little bit there. Must have found some sellers. Yep, we have a red UFO there, right in front of us. And that's okay. Alright, there we are. As I said, we should be getting some sort of confirmations now. Well, not quite. So the ES is a confirmed... It's a sensible short, but unconfirmed. The Dow is also sensible short, unconfirmed, hopeful short on the RTY. The Nasdaq remained a hopeful short, and the negative ATR went away because the climate just re-updated. But crude oil is actually giving us an opportunity. So let's go ahead and open up crude oil on the 15-minute time frame. And let's see what we got. Okay. Let me just double check where the where crude oil is at. trading the Z contract. I'm just making sure. CLZ 21. Okay. A lot of big UFOs here on crude. Let's see. We have a confirmed down climate, but we're already trading above the moving average. There is a UFO here, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take this at this 84 number, so I can technically get a better fill on a trade that I would have taken should I have loaded my chart a little bit sooner. So this would go at 21, and this would go down to 79. And then let's see how far down we need to go on this. There we go. We technically just got a better fill on the trade that we would have taken regardless. Confirmed climate, moving average, moving nicely down. Okay, this is set right. Where's our final target? Let's take a look at this. Our final target is at 83.48. 83.48 right here. Okay, there we go, moving nicely to our T1. That's what we want to see. Okay, T1 is at a nice spot here where it rallied from, which is, you know, it'll be good to get a T1 fill here, and then we can actually move our stop already to 84.09. So that would make this a guaranteed profitable trade. Alright, gold never filled, but it went away. Gold, come on, teasing us, euro, doing nothing. Alright, let's take a look at gold again. I'm sorry, crude oil again. There is a UFO here, so what we're, you know, expecting to happen is to see this continue down. Obviously this UFO might be a small speed bump here, which is not unusual, and that should be that, as long as we don't have a change in climate. Gold really teased us here, didn't it? Where did it come up to? Probably came like a few ticks away. Yep, so our entry was at 18.015. It made a high of 18.012. Okay, and then it moved well past T1 and made a new UFO, so this would have been a definite profitable trade, but that's okay. Alright, looks like crude oil is cooperating. As long as we see a nice slide down and perhaps a new low here, right? A new low here, breaking this low, we'll be in a pretty good shape to be on our way to T2. There we are. Oh my god, by the time I said it. Alright, look at this. 92 is our actual new stop. 92 is our new stop. This is a definite profitable trade. We took our profits. Please, and this is what we want to see, right? It ticked below, ticked below. There we go. That's the kind of force and strength we want to see on a down move, right? It's still got some ways to go to our T2, but I don't want to give up too much profit, so you know, we want to see this keep moving down. Let me know in the chat if you guys are with me on this trade. If not, you know, let me know why you didn't take it. The reason why I went in where I went in is because, you know, I was definitely going to be in this trade. It was still a valid trade, even though it was trading above the moving average. I simply just chose to get a better fill, and that was it. Even if you were to go in while you were waiting for it, you probably still got your T1, and you're with me on the moving trailing stop right here. And I'm sorry, I just realized I didn't explain the trailing stop. So the way we go about trailing stops is, as price moves in our direction, in our favor, right, we move our stop above a newly formed, you know, ally UFO, let's call it, right? Because we got opposing UFOs down here. Ally UFOs are the UFOs that form in the direction of our trade. So as you see here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 new UFOs that formed while we were in this trade. Okay, so we don't want to, you know, our final target is here at a larger time frame UFO, but the ones that we utilize to give us kind of, you know, the speed bumps to make sure we don't give up everything on this trade, right? For example, if this trade were to go all the way back to our stop, then this would have been a, you know, break-even trade, as opposed to the little bit of money we made plus the little bit more that's guaranteed to be made here, right? So let's take a look. So gold's not really doing much. Let me just make sure that this is still a valid trade though. Yep, still a valid trade. 1801.3. Yeah, it should still be fine. 1801.5 will be the, yeah, this is still fine. Okay, the euro, well, not doing much. Something that I've started doing now pre-market is not applying the time stop rule for those of the veterans of our channel here. You might have typically seen me, you know, put the vertical lines here. I just realized this is because I'm on my laptop today, folks, so I need to kind of set this up properly. Actually, like this one a little bit heavier. Set that as a default. Okay, and let's go ahead and put the vertical line here. So 1, 2, 3, right? This is where our time stop would have hit, right? I'm just not applying that rule right now because it's pre-market hours, especially with this one. You know, things are just moving a little bit, you know, sideways. So, okay, we are out of the crude oil trade. We made our money. We're looking good. Okay. I definitely want to be on the lookout in case a new trade develops on it, but as of right now, it went to our stop. It gave us the money that it gave us. Let's be happy with it. Unlike what's happening here with gold, right? It didn't come by 3 ticks to us, and then ultimately ended up moving down and in our direction. So for the euro, unless I have a climate change, right, then I can close this trade at market. But as of right now, I'm just going to let it develop because I got into this trade before the market opens. After the market opens, I'll put a new vertical line, and then I'm going to do a countdown for a time stop because, you know, when the market's open, there should be plenty of volume to kind of kick it in the right direction. And the right direction being, you know, to the upside, the way our trade is set up, because we still have a valid climate. All right, now ES, sensible short but unconfirmed. Now we have the 10-year note, crude oil sensible long. Actually, look at that, that's pretty cool. ES near sensible long on the 60-minute. So let's go ahead and open up the 60-minute on the ES. And the reason why is because the market's about to open and maybe there's an opportunity somewhere there. Let's take a look. If there's any questions or comments, folks, please feel free to type up in the chat. All right. Oof, this. Oh, okay. It's 7 out of typically 11 hours that it goes up for. That's pretty cool. Oh, look at that, right? How's this for a trading range right there? Right, just a bunch of whipsaw right there. Nothing happening. Okay, so we have a 45.74.50. So 74.50 is down below here at 76. So should price drop down, do we see it touching this 73.25? Oof, that is really tough to say, honestly. I want to say yes because I want to be able to get in this trade. but I quite frankly don't know. Mainly because price is just so close, right? It's at 75.50 with 74.25 being the moving average, 74.50. I'm gonna go ahead and say this is probably not gonna work as much as I would want to. Yeah, unfortunately, that's just the way this is going to be. All right, crude oil, not much. Gold, man, what a miss. I'll go ahead and cancel this trade. It's no longer valid. This is already played out quite nicely. That's okay. Euro, still kind of dead in the water. Let's see if we got something else to open up here. Alright, crude oil on the 60 minute is giving us an up climb. Let's go ahead and open that up. Let's open up the right contract. And look at that. That's probably where the UFO was in the trade on the 60. 83.77. Yep. So this UFO was actually the entry point now. So where we sold our T1, right in front of it was a UFO on the 8-minute time frame that corresponds with the climate of the 60-minute time frame. So, you know, this is just another point in fact that sometimes the bigger time frames do end up winning. And now the UFO disappeared. So we might not have a trade set up just yet. Okay. Let's go ahead and leave that alone for a bit. I'm just going to put the crude oils next to each other. Yep, there's that 15. There's the 60. ES60 not doing much. Gold just keeps on sinking. Oh wow, okay, so the euro is actually coming fairly close to our stop. Okay, looking like it's going to stop out before the market opens, which is, you know, I definitely don't want to see that. I would like to see it, you know, I would like to see the market open and potentially this to rally. But I don't have a crystal ball. The market will do what it wants to do. Besides, you know, regardless of what I think or like to do, right? Nobody has that power. We all have a preference, of course. Given that we're 40 seconds away from the market open, there's a good chance that this will just kind of wick around. Yep, there it is. Okay. So the euro stopped us out, and we have an unconfirmed climate as of right now. Interesting enough, you know, 20 seconds before the market opened. Okay, so let's see here. Alright, right to the tick. Let's see. Alright. We're getting some information here. Getting some information. Crude, sensible short, still good. ES and now sensible long. Okay, still sensible short on the euro. Oh well, right now it's a sensible short because we were long. Never mind. Okay, 16,263. That's above this UFO. 16,260,270. Okay, this UFO might actually be good to short on. 16,250. 16,250. That's a small risk trade I'll be willing to take with 4 contracts. So I'm going to give it there and there. Okay, and then as far as a final target, we're looking at 16 150, 16.15, 16.150 right there. Where it's at. Okay, gold went to our T2. Unfortunately, we weren't on it. That's okay. It's just shooting down, sinking down. ES on the 60 did touch that UFO. I don't know if it worked or not as far as the moving average was. Obviously already reacting nicely off of that UFO. If you guys were on it, let me know. Crude, okay, so it is still working in favor of the 50-minute time frame towards the downside. 60-minute time frame unconfirmed now. We're going to go ahead and close it. Okay. Alright. NQ near sensible long. Let's go ahead and open up the NQ. Okay, there's NQ, just shooting on higher. Massive UFO here. Yep. Alright, now let's see if I can do this from here. Okay, yep, you should be able to. Alright, folks, so if you aren't already, please go ahead and switch to our private stream, which is tradewithufos.com/live. If you're not there already, so I'll see you there. Does not look like it's working actually, so we may end up just continuing the stream as it is. There we go. Okay, let's see what the NQ is doing. Looks like it's moving fairly crazily towards the upside. Look at that beautiful bar to the upside. Looks like I may have loaded this just a little too late. 597 the UFO, so that means these big UFOs down here where this move happened. Yeah, I mean two and a half ATRs away. We're not catching that anytime soon. The Dow, interestingly, is actually going to the downside. NQ's 0.8%, ES 0.4, the Dow 0.25. RTY still in the red in a hopeful short scenario. Interesting. Okay, the euro, of course, did not come to get us. Went all the way to T2. Alright, let's go ahead and close that. Gold, same thing. ES popping up a little. We do have a UFO here though. Let's see what we can do here. 45.74. 85. Okay, so this UFO will work. Sorry, I just don't know why this is on my laptop, so I have to. So 75.75 is the entry. So 75.75 right here is the entry. Oof, that's I'm gonna go ahead and cancel this. That's gonna be an extended stop all the way down here. It's just so much risk. We can take it on the micro, I guess, but you know, that's just an excessive amount of risk. No need to do that. Crude also kept going lower. Nasdaq pulled back quite sharply with an entry here at 15,602. Now, same thing with the Nasdaq as with the previous one. It's going to be a high risk trade. But the reason why I'm willing to take it is because you could always take this on the micro. Now, let's actually go a little bit higher. Looks like it's 1604 this UFO starts. Nope. 1603 maybe. Yeah. Alright, now our stop needs to be well below. So our stop needs to be 15,587.5. Okay. Same thing here. We may have missed this by a little bit there. Now we're looking at 15,603 minus 15,587.5, 15.5 points. 15,603, 15,618.5. So 15,618.5. Place that order. I don't think there's anything up above, so let's double check, but I'm pretty, yeah, there's nothing up above, all-time highs. So we're going to cancel that one. Unfortunately though, I'm pretty sure we missed this one, obviously. You know, this would have just skyrocketed up, right? It came pretty close, but then didn't come quite close enough. And now it's gone all the way back up again. Crude tanking, ES doing the same. Gold pulling back a little bit. The euro pulling back a little bit too. Okay, so let's see. Nothing else that's not open. Look at that. Oops. So we're gonna have an update to the climate in about 6 minutes from now. Actually, yeah, 6.5 minutes from now. 257. This is still at the same location that we were looking to short earlier. Which is, you know, it's really not a problem at all to kind of, you know, to change your direction right on the fly right there, right? We got stopped out, and that's okay. Then it gave us an opportunity to go to the short side. We set up that trade, obviously it didn't fill us, otherwise we would have had our T2 on that. And because it was such a small risk trade, we actually decided to, you know, double down on the contracts. But unfortunately, we didn't get filled. All right, so that's life. Gold still doing this thing, 1799. So this UFO would be the entry UFO. This UFO here where it fell off from. If it gets there, if it gets back there. Yeah, not a whole lot of opportunities given to us here in this case, right? Just trying to save this so I don't have to keep redoing that. Okay. Alright folks, any requests, anything you want me to take a look at, any questions, any comments, you know, please feel free to let me know. I'll be more than glad to go over them. So far though, you know, we're looking okay. Made some money, definitely could have made more if the market wasn't so stingy. Right? It kept coming close but not quite filling us, and then the couple of trades that we did get filled on, one worked, one didn't. That's okay, that's life. I'm gonna cancel this one because it looks like it's already moved out. Not much to do there. I mean, you know, if this got filled, you know, we would have been in a really, really good position, right? From 16, we were gonna get in at 15,603 to 15,650 right now, which is crazy. We might have gotten stopped out here on this wick down if there were any UFOs up above, but if there weren't, we would still be riding this and just kind of moving our stop, moving our stop, moving our stop. It's, you know, it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. yet. Okay, let's see. Let's go ahead and reset and see if there's anything. So these are all the ones that we have open. These are unconfirmed climates. The Dow is a sensible long on the 60-minute. Let's go ahead and open that one up. That one might be interesting. The Dow is the one that's currently lagging behind. And then if that one starts to rip to the upside, you know, it's going to catch up to the others. So that would be a good opportunity to get in on it. 714 is the current moving average. There is a UFO there. That's at 712. Okay. It's kind of dancing around in between there. So let's see if there's anything here. A UFO. We are a little late on this. 702, 712. So I'm going to do the same thing that I did with crude. I'm just going to buy this at market and try to move these as quick as I can to the bottom side. Okay, and try to set this trade up because we did have a UFO there that was going to meet criteria. We were just a little late to the party. Okay, now our stop has to be somewhere below here. 652, so 651, somewhere around here. Yep, that's where our stop needs to be. Alright, so our T1 to make us, you know, 530, this is T1 right here. And then the last one, I don't believe there is anything up above, but let's double check just to be sure. No, we don't have anything up above. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and, where is this, reset this. Okay, so we're still in an up climate. We have, you know, 3 hourly candles to kind of give us guidance and keep us going. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and cancel this one here. No, shit, sorry about that. 530. Okay, just gonna change the quantity to 1. Cancel one of them. There it is. So that's just our T1. Obviously big wicking move up and down on the Dow, but we are expecting it to kind of, if it goes hand in hand with the rest of them, to try to catch up, you know, to see it kind of go up there with it. We did get technically a better fill here at 704. The entry would have been up here at 712, I believe. We do have a couple of UFOs still outstanding to give us support to get us going to the upside. Now, since the market is open, and this is the Dow, we're going to go ahead and draw our vertical lines here to make sure that we don't get carried away. So 1, 2, 3. So within this area here, we need to have a resolution of this trade, whether it stops us out or gives us our T1. As long as that happens, we're good. If it doesn't happen, we're going to go ahead and close this trade at market. Now, looking at the hourly chart down here, you know, we're trading below the moving average. It's never a good sign to do when we're doing that, but slowly but surely looks like we're trying to push up. At least that's the indication of this price movement right now that we're seeing. But again, you know, this could easily just turn to the downside and just stop us out. The NQ still pushing higher, trying to break that high. Might not. If it does, this will be very bullish. ES on the 60 doing the same thing, trying to push higher. Typically the ES should kind of carry the whole bunch here to the upside, but you know, things have been kind of out of sync oftentimes actually lately, so we could see changes. There's the Dow showing us that near sensible short. I'm sorry, near sensible long, which is where we're in right now on this UFO here. Okay, but obviously our stop would have been below there, so it would have hit this UFO, so that's why we had to move our stop to 651. And this is what I mean. It was looking very bullish, and then now we're looking very bearish. Oof, that's definitely not good either. Okay. Crude retracing 79 is the setup. Okay, so 79 being in here, this could be a valid entry at 74 right there, with a stop above 88, so 89, so only, you know, 1 2 3 4 5 ticks, with 1 2 3 4 5 ticks below, and then our final target being well down there at 82.61. 82.61. Couple ticks. It came couple ticks away, and it's already retracing down. Isn't that the tune of today, right? All right, 82.61. Looks like it's gonna fill. Come on, crude. Just a couple ticks. All right, we're in. Good stuff. The Dow still kind of just dancing around there. Nothing. Not doing much. Alright, I'm just gonna pull this one to the right since I know I'm in. NQ and the ES doing the same thing. Gold not quite getting close to anywhere, and like it made that 1790, right? It's almost like a, you know, it's a 10-point move. It's $1,000 move for gold that it made from the 1800s to the 1790s. We were going to be a part of it, but just didn't get the opportunity. Okay, now the euro 16,245 is within this one. So this trade here, 225, would actually be a valid trade here to 225 to 260. So 225 to 260 right there, and 270 being our take profit. Now something that needs to be said about this one here is the following, right? The current price, it did go low as 16,165, which is within this UFO, or maybe not. Low as 165, and this UFO starts at 150. So no, our target would still be at 150. So if we had that at 150 over here, it's still a valid trade. Oh, something. Wow. We got smacked by crude oil. Look at that. All right. I'm like, I'm looking at our close P&L. I'm like, whoa, that was quick. Yep, so it went right to it and is now trading above the moving average. Okay, that was quick. Dow not doing much. The red UFO that was here is gone though. That's good news for us. NQ touched that UFO, pulled back a little bit, testing it again. The ES kind of the same. Gold not much change. The euro didn't quite get to our entry point. So not much there. That was rather quick, right? Did go a few ticks above our stop, and it looks like it's pausing. So, all right, here we are. We're finding some buyers here to hopefully take us to the upside. If it doesn't happen by, 10:09, right? Yeah, 10:09. Then we're gonna go ahead and close this trade at market. All right. Nasdaq's also pulling down a little bit. The ES is kind of staying there, but also doing the same thing. And then the Dow is really just dancing around that 35,700 number, 712 being the moving average. Looks like it's adding buyers at that location. It's accumulating buyers. We just need to see a nice little pop to the upside. This sucks. Right? To see this, we got in here, got stopped out, now it's pulling down. It's okay, it happens. That's life. This is looking very indecisive here. We got some buyers kicking in right now. We just need a little bit more of a determination. A break above this high could definitely drive the Dow higher. It looks like it wants to move that way, but again, you could just never tell. All right, current price is at 77.82. I'm actually gonna take this short again and go with a stop at 96 and 360 here. And it was 82.61 if I'm not mistaken, or something like that. Let me just double check that. $82.61. Yep. How's that for memory, right? Okay, so we have a UFO. The price is there. We took it a little bit outside, just I didn't want to miss it, just in case it decides to slide down. Still a valid entry, and it's okay to retake entries. That's nothing wrong with that. Given that this is on the 50-minute time frame, 50-minute climate, I am going to draw my verticals. That's our entry candle. And now we need our 1, 2, 3. We need that one. So within these verticals, right before we close the session, or right at the time of closing our session, we need to have a decision here, whether it's our T1 or a stop out. Okay, getting a little interesting here. All right, look at that. Dow's finally popping, deciding to go to the upside. Has a lot of stuff to clear here. I kind of wish it creates a new UFO here so I can just move my stop, because this is a pretty wide stop for it. And then, this is literally where we're asking the Dow on a weekday to push all the way to the previous high, basically 35,757 right there. Not that it's not doable, it's definitely doable, just whether or not it'll be probable is the question. Gold, euro, not much. Okay, this is looking fairly good. New UFO already formed. If we get this T1 hit, we're gonna move our stop down to 82, making this a definite profitable trade. We got a couple of UFOs here to clear, though. We got 1, 2, 3 UFOs to clear to our T1. Never an easy thing to do, but it's also a possible thing to do, right? As we're seeing in front of us. All right, climate's intact. Come on, crude, give us that T1. Dow's going our way, crude's going our way, finally, after stopping us out here. Okay, nothing on the ES. I was really hoping to get in on the ES, but not doing much. Expecting a bit of a reaction off of those couple of those UFOs. Now, if it tests this one and then pushes down, we'll be in a fairly good shape. Okay, at least it's a pretty active day, right? We don't have to fish for opportunities. They're abundant today. That's always good. All right, I'm just gonna close the NQ. It's not doing much. Close that workspace, save it. The Dow looking like it wants to go higher. Let's hope it does, right? For our trade's sake. Okay. Crude retracted a little bit more than I would have liked it to, but we still have this UFO, which is right at our entry basically. So let's see if we can get a nice pop down. If not, right after this session ends, essentially right after that candle closes, we can close the trade at market no matter what. Gold just heading on down. Right, nothing to do there. On the euro, we do have our trade still open here. It's still valid. 16,250 being the moving average. It's within the UFO here, and there's also two other UFOs on the other time frames that are giving us an opportunity to do this. And this looking like it might want to come close to filling us, right? Let's see here. The high was 16,220. Our entry's at 225. That's a tick away. Let's hope it does fill. All right. Dow pushing up higher again. Crude pushing lower. Come on, crude. So we can get our stop moved down to 86. There it is. All right. Actually, we're going to move our stop all the way down to 74. Profitable trade for sure. Made all our money back essentially after this closes. Oh, but the Dow. Oof, that's rough. Okay, so that's looking pretty rough. Crude's, heading on down the way we expected it to. But the Dow took a nasty turn. My God, that's not fun. I mean, we do have the 10 a.m. reversal. A new UFO has formed here on the Dow. This is just not looking good. It's looking ugly. Okay, that's the EC filled. That's good. This is also a 2-minute time frame, so I'm just gonna move these verticals here. All right, 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's our setup there. Oops, let's bring that back a little. Okay. Okay, so risking 112 to basically make about 240, about a 2 to 1, a little bit more than 2 to 1. Wow, this is, it's a lot of indecision there. Okay. Crude looks like it wants to keep going lower, which is not bad at all. Our T2 is well down there. It's going pretty good. The Dow though is just, whew, just heading on down. Touched that UFO on the crude oil 2-minute, reacted off of it. Let's hope we don't get stopped out on the way down. Euro, not moving a whole lot. Moving, but not a whole lot. All right, folks. So that's really it. We're at the end of the session. Given the fact that we're at the end of the session, I'm just gonna go ahead and close this for just a tiny little loss, if anything here. Right? It's okay because it's touching that line. I'm okay to do that. Looks like crude's probably gonna stop us out here. Might not. Might stop. We'll see. The euro, I'm gonna leave it going because obviously it's moving a little slower. It's not gonna be the end of the world. We're not risking a whole bunch of money either. So thank you very much for joining me. Hope you found this session helpful. If anything, please feel free to shoot me a quick email if you have any questions or comments. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of the day.